Imagine marrying a Christian man who loved God, prayed over meals, led worship, talked about calling and purpose, and then 5 years later, he tells you he doesn't believe anymore. What do you do with that? What do you do when the person you built covenant with slowly walks away from the faith that built your foundation? This happens more than people admit. It rarely starts dramatic. It starts subtle. Less church attendance, more cynicism, increased irritation, isolation. Faith conversations turn into critiques about people. Sometimes the shift is loud. Sometimes it's silent. Sometimes they're still serving publicly while privately disengaging. And you're left wondering, did I miss something? Is this my fault? Here's where we have to slow down and think clearly. The Apostle Paul actually addresses this. In 1 Corinthians 7, he speaks to believers married to unbelievers and says if the unbelieving spouse is willing to stay and live peacefully, do not immediately dissolve the marriage simply because of the faith difference. Your presence matters. Your conduct matters. Your steadiness matters. But Paul also says in 2 Corinthians 6:14, do not enter into spiritual misalignment intentionally. Those are two different situations. One is preventative wisdom in courtship. The other is covenant guidance once you're already married. Paul is not telling you to chase control or preach someone back into belief. He is not telling you to tolerate hostility or mistreatment. He is saying if there is peace and safety, remain anchored, pray without ceasing, as 1 Thessalonians 5:17 teaches. Live your faith quietly and consistently. People sometimes leave God because they are disillusioned with people. Sometimes they project human disappointment onto divine character. Sometimes pride, hurt, intellectual doubt, or hidden resentment grows roots before the public declaration ever happens. Faith drift often shows up first in emotional patterns before theological statements. Watch for increased contempt, withdrawal, moral rationalization. But also remember, this does not shock God. There are documented seasons where someone walks away and later returns, humbled, refined, and transformed after a personal encounter that breaks through their suffering. There are no certainties. Some return, some do not. What you do not do is sacrifice your safety, your integrity, or your peace. Covenant is not permission for harm. The Bible never commands you to remain in danger. People can fall away, people can come back. Your responsibility is faithfulness, wisdom, and safety. You cannot control someone's belief. You can't control your response. Ciao.